everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we have two guests. Oh, Bluebell's normally here and Niall's here quite a lot too on my vlogs. Today we thought we would do a little bit of a puppy, getting a puppy, everything you need to know, Q&A kind of video. We've had Bluebell for 4 months, so yeah, we feel like we're okay at having a puppy now. We've learned quite a bit. Obviously we're not like professional, anything like that. Everything we're gonna say today is our own opinion, but we know a little bit. We know a little bit, don't we?
We know a little bit.
We're just gonna share today what we've done with Bluebell. I think she's turned out all right. She's
all right.
She's a bit crazy, but she's all right. What did we consider / should you consider before getting a puppy? So we considered a lot.
Can I put her down because she's just biting me?
She needs to be in the video. It's about her.
She's distracted.
Bluebell, we're doing a YouTube video dedicated to you.
Oh, she's looking at good.
Can you just be in it for a little bit?
Oh.
Thank you. Good girl.
What did we consider? What do you have to consider?
So I definitely think you need to consider where you live. The big reason we moved into this flat was because we wanted a dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we needed a garden.
Yeah,
and
our other
for
flat.
Poppy as well.
Yeah, our cat's called Poppy in case you don't know. I don't think I ever would have personally wanted a dog until we had a garden. But a lot in America, I think people live in big apartment block sort of things,
yeah,
and they do puppy pads or like just runs outside, and personally we just didn't want to do that. We wanted to make sure we had a garden and just a bit more space because our old flat was quite small, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been way too small for a dog.
Yeah, because it is like having a new member of the family.
Yeah.
He is a member of our family.
Her toys are always everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. But also financially, we felt much more stable because we'd finished university. We just financially felt like we could afford like vet bills and food, good food. I think you definitely should invest in like a good food because it's important for their hair and obviously for their health and everything. So
I think around here it's a lot nicer, like walking wise.
Yeah, that's true too. Very dog walking area where we live now. Before it wasn't quite as much. There was just dying in the background. There was much less big areas of green because obviously we live in the city in London. It's not ideal, you know, we're not living in the countryside to go for like country walks, but there are massive parks in London. So where we live now compared to where we were before, there's a lot more dog walking areas. Like it's kind of known for being a dog walking part of London, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely important. And also time, I think you definitely need to have enough time to walk your dog, to train it, to bring it up to be a nice little doggy. I do think puppies get separation anxiety and stuff when you first get them, especially as well, and that's why we always had Bluebell in our room when she was sleeping, not in our bed, but she jumps in the bed now, but when she was little she was always right next to our bed from when she came back to our house. I know some people don't want to do that and they don't do that, but I do think it definitely helps a puppy not get too anxious and upset.
I suppose it depends how you bring them up as well. I think Bluebell's been so close to us and she's always around someone. We never leave her at home alone for too long a period.
I don't think that's essential. We do give her a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a bit too much. I think
love.
She's a bit needy.
I also think you should research into the breed that you're looking for because different breeds have different temperaments and different, well, obviously, sizing. Think about how big of a dog you can like physically deal with. We personally didn't want like a really big dog now, but Niall really wants one. But we couldn't now because we're living in a flat, it's rented, which we also made sure was okay with our landlady, but we don't live in a big house, so I don't feel like we'd have enough space for a big dog. So I do think you should consider the breed and research into the breed. I knew about Cavalier King Charles Spaniels because that's what Bluebell is, because I grew up with them, so I felt that also helped me not be too overwhelmed with getting her, because I felt like I knew about the breed and I didn't really even need to research because I'd grown up with them since I was a baby, so that helped me feel ready for her as well. You weren't quite sure about a Cavalier, but I was, and now he loves Cavaliers. Also, Bluebell doesn't shed, which is really weird because a lot of Cavaliers shed, and you should definitely consider that as well, because I know a lot of dogs do shed and, you know, a lot of people don't want that, but we were actually really kind of lucky in the sense that Bluebell doesn't. And
I think she does a tiny bit.
Yeah, but I think all dogs must do like a tiny bit, but she doesn't sit on you and literally leave and be a hairy woman.
Last thing, you have to be willing to deal with number ones and number twos cleaning up wee and poo.
Well,
because
obviously
she's
do a
good
lot
now,
of them,
but that's all they do.
They do a lot of them.
She was renamed Bluebell
by you
when she was younger.
Speaking of number ones and twos, how did we toilet train Bluebell? That's what someone said. That was a nice little slither into the next question. We always did the outdoors thing, which I don't think it's essential.
No.
A lot of people do puppy pads. We never did that, did we? I did buy a box of them because I thought it was a thing, but I didn't ever use one.
They wee and then you just carry them, take them out. Like, we've got a special outdoor area where that was like where we wanted her to know that she goes to the toilet. If they do have an accident, you just pick them up and take them out, and try not to get annoyed with them, because
positive
then they might,
rewarding.
Yeah, so reward them for when they do something right, but if they do something wrong,
ignore them.
Yeah, because the thing is they don't even have control of their bladder.
No.
So really, as long as you're teaching them where the right place is to go, I think until they're 16 weeks, is it, or something?
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't think until they're like
control.
one they fully become toilet trained.
She's pretty good now.
Yeah, and also I would say, also just going outside with your dog as much as you can when it's young, just taking her out, her or him out whenever you can. They do say to do it hourly, just to take her out. I keep saying her. Take it out. I don't like it. Take them out. God, it's the longest sentence in the world. Hourly or every 2 hours, even if they don't need to go or they haven't done an accident, just so they're getting used to the idea that that is where they go, and always rewarding them when they go outside. When they're coming in, give them a puppy training treat or whatever. But also the other thing that I think is very noticeable when a puppy needs to go to the toilet is they sniff. So they walk around, they sniff the floor a lot, and they're searching for the place to go. So
that's a number two.
Pick them up and take them outside to avoid the number two on the carpet. That's just what we did, but obviously there's puppy pads and there's other forms of training, but we just wanted to do it that way from the very beginning. So it was enforced from when she was a baby, and she did pick it up quite quickly. Obviously there was a lot of accidents. We're lucky because our floor is wooden as well, so it's much easier to clean up.
Oh yeah, that's something you should consider.
Yeah, you should consider your
carpets, nice cream carpets.
Well, that's why I think a lot of people keep puppies downstairs when they're young too.
Yeah, and they have diarrhea a lot when they're young.
Yes, they do.
There's a lot of poo talk in this video.
I don't like talking about poo. Moving along, the next one is, how did we come up with the name Bluebell? I did. Niall didn't like it. Let me tell the story because it's my story.
Okay.
Niall didn't want to call her Bluebell, I did. I like Bluebell, one because it's a flower, so it matches Poppy, our cat, so they're both flowers. But also because there was a forest where I lived growing up called the Groves. But every spring there was a massive field of bluebells.
I didn't get a field of little bluebells.
Every year me and my mum would go, and my mum would always get a picture of us like in the bluebells, so I thought it would be nice to call Bluebell Bluebell. It's not a that in-depth story. I like it. My mum likes Bluebell. I love my mum, so
I do like the name now, and I think she suits it.
Yeah, but Niall didn't get it because she's red.
I realised we're getting a ruby dog, and then when I told people, they looked at me like I was an idiot.
You can't get a blue dog,
so you've got a ruby dog, and you're calling her Bluebell.
Yeah, but where do you see a blue dog?
That's a very good point. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care what people think.
I told you we could have called her Autumn. How did we crate train her? Because we crate trained her, that was half.
What is crate training?
Crate training is when you get essentially it's a cage, but I don't like that word, a crate, where you teach your dog. It's just a training method for every type of training. So I do think crate training helps with toilet training as well, because in the night Bluebell has never had an accident, even from when she was a puppy. She just doesn't have an accident because she sleeps in her crate still. When they sleep in their crate, they don't like to wee where they sleep. She's never had accidents overnight, and then in the morning, if you get her outside quick enough, she doesn't have an accident. So it's a good way in that sense to teach them not to wee in the night, also not to chew things in the night, and it's just like safe, because obviously puppies can just eat things and die. It stops that. But also when we're out, we put her in there, and it's kind of like her safe place now. So whenever she gets told off, she waddles and runs into her crate. chews our table a lot and I tell her off, and as soon as I use my stern voice, she runs into her crate because it's her safe place. So it becomes like a nice place for dogs to feel safe in as well.
She likes it. She puts herself to bed sometimes. Just
jump in.
Yeah, night night.
Made a routine for her sleeping wise, which is great because we never had the getting up like or staying up all night. She never whined through the night or cried through the night because she was next to us as well. So I definitely think it's very helpful, don't you?
Yeah.
Very good. How is the relationship between Bluey B and Poppy? We need to get Poppy for this one. It's interesting, but it's doable. It is doable to get a cat and a dog to be friends. Well,
they're fine. I don't know if they're friends. I feel like Bluebell's nice, but she's annoying. Poppy is just wants to keep herself to herself.
Yeah, they have very different personalities. So Bluebell's a bit dopey and a bit ditzy, and Poppy's very sassy. So it's quite a difficult match. They're a bit of a clash, considering they're a cat and a dog as well. Cats are known for being territorial, and Poppy was obviously here first. So at first, she was a bit hissy, wasn't she?
Yeah, she made some funny noise when she's like scared. So yeah, there was a bit of that at first, but then she kind of just relaxed. And I think since she's been going outside as well, she kind of get away from Bluebell, you know, because Bluebell does basically just chase her up and down the flat. I think sometimes she annoys Poppy, but I do also think that sometimes Poppy kind of plays back, because Bluebell will go and jump on her and then Poppy will slap her, but then Poppy will run after her, and yeah, they just run around and play a lot, but Poppy doesn't ever hurt her, which is the good thing. So I don't think she's being aggressive. Yeah, she's not being malicious.
No, she's not trying to hurt her, which is the important thing, because obviously she could scratch her eye out, but we always kind of watch as well. Again,
like at bedtime, Bluebell will be on the bed, and Poppy jumps up and says hello now too. So I don't think she minds her that much. Like there, and
she's civil.
Just annoying.
Bluebell likes her, but Poppy doesn't like Bluebell very much.
Yeah, I definitely take it slow at first though. If you've got a cat and you're getting a dog.
Yeah, I definitely think you should ease in. Yeah. Ease them in together. I don't think we specifically like set an amount of days to like keep them in different rooms or anything, which I did actually read before we got Bluebell, because I was trying to work out how to do it with Poppy in the house already. But we watched them and then just really slowly let them like meet. I think we've got one more question. Did you ever think you made the wrong choice getting her? Did you ever regret it?
No.
Never.
I don't know how you could.
Well, I suppose some people do like think that's the thing, you just got to make sure it's the right time, really think about it, really research. Make sure you do your research and you won't regret it. The thing is, I actually get like quite bad moments of anxiety, and when we got Poppy, our cat, I had it. So I like freaked out completely. I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna look after this living thing? It's like, it is a big responsibility, isn't it, getting a pet?
Yeah.
And I freaked out so much. Then I was also worried that I was gonna have it with Bluebell, because a puppy is even more of a responsibility. I did, however, get over the panic attack moment quite fast with Poppy, but at a moment it just completely overwhelmed me. But I didn't get that at all with Bluebell, and I think that was because we had thought about all of these things, like financially. We obviously researched a lot before we went to see her when she was tiny, make sure everything was okay. We're just much more prepared. I do think, don't rush into it, really prepare for it. We did rush getting Poppy. One day I was like, oh my God, let's get her, and we just got her and spent a lot of time thinking about getting Bluebell, and it was a very good addition to the family. Wasn't she? I just called her it. That is the thing, she is a part of the family. She's a member. Anyway, I think that's going to be all our questions today, because we've been talking for a very long time, so I'm hoping I can edit this down quite a bit. Now, obviously, we're not professionals. We're just an owner of a little Bluebell, so we're not pros, but I think we know a little bit, and I think we've done quite a good job.
Well, I think we have.
I think so. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Here's little Bluebell for one more time. Poppy's somewhere too, but she doesn't like us right now because we're doing a family video without her.
She's in the back there.
She's in the background. She is here too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any more things you want to ask, just comment below and I'll try and give you my best advice that I know of, and Niall will too, on his non-existent channel. Bye!